Hello, I'm Megan, and I'm going to be showing you how to make some opera camp flowers today, and a few things of what not to do. We're going to start. Everybody can come to the table. All the colors will be cut. You're going to get 6 pieces of tissue paper, whatever colors combination you want to make. You'll come back to a spot on a table, on a floor, where you'll be comfortable doing the next step of folding. You want to be sure your 6 pieces are all nice and even along a bottom edge. Then you're going to take your 2 fingers, pointer and middle, and fold up that width just about. I'd say it's a little over an inch for those of you who are thinking of it, or a paint stick. You're going to go over under. It's kind of like an accordion fold. You pick all your pieces up with your fingertips and your thumb, and you fold again. And you want to be doing really nice creases. You'll go back and forth 6 to 8 times depending upon the size of your fold, always lining them up so everybody is stacked on top of each other. And go back and forth, creasing, making sure it stays lined up. Nobody's fatter, nobody's thinner than the other one in width. That's what our 2-finger measurement was. And when we're getting close, making sure your creases are nice. You got a little more to hang on to, so it might be easier to crease then. Don't worry if your sides get a little uneven. We'll be trimming all that off before we put our pipe cleaner center part on. So I've gotten to the end, and yeah, it's a little messy, and it's going to be, but you'll take a pair of scissors and you'll trim off the excess. You don't want to cut your creases, just the remainder that hangs off, not into your creases. If you have trouble, we've got folks in the room that can lend a hand. So you just want to make sure your ends are nice and even. And we can see that there's some highs and lows. You want to cut at your lowest point. So again, everybody's the same length. If you don't, it's not the end of the world, but your flower will look a little less round. We're going to take any color pipe cleaner, because in the end, you won't really see it. So it doesn't matter if it's a green one or one that matches your tissue paper. And you're going to twist it over. You're going to find the middle. Ideally, you find the middle. Each side is equal length. Twist, twist, twist a couple of times, nice and tight, not loose. We don't want to be able to pull this paper out easily. Then you're going to hold it in your left hand or your right hand if you're a left-handed person. And you're going to bring one piece of paper up at a time. And here's the reason why you've creased so nicely, is that this gives the body to the beginning of your flower. And it's okay if you need to take your hands off the pipe cleaners, but you're just tugging ever so gently against that crease line. And you're bringing it to the center of your flower. And you just keep tugging and tugging, pulling nicely maybe with your thumb and between your fingers. And we're down to you got to make sure you only get 1 layer at a time and not 2. You can tug with your thumbs once you get a little more into the flower. It's a little easier. And you can see you're not going quite all the way to center now that you're in the middle point. Keep tugging around. It's a little easier as you go because you're not having to pull the paper so far. Now these last 2 layers, this is where I always end up tearing. So again, gently, patiently pulling apart instead of trying to get to the middle. Just pull apart, and then you go back to your pipe cleaner and you kind of ease this one over. And this is the one I always tear. Just ease it over like that. Maybe I'll get it this time. And there, I have half of my flower done already. Now, you're gonna go back and do the same thing to the other half of your flower. Again, one, and sometimes it's tricky to get them separated, but one layer at a time. One layer, one layer, one layer. If you were to choose 2 layers, it just wouldn't look as full, but you could do it that way if you wanted to. But to make it more intricate and all those rows of petals pop, you tug them one at a time. Get into our mid-pink area. Again, might start to get excited and it's happening and I'm almost done. And just be gentle before you tear. All right, one more. See if I can get this yellow not to tear like all my other ones. I'm trying to be more careful. All right, this one I just pull apart because it's at the back of the bloom. And then I just kind of fluff it forward, grab my pipe cleaner and carefully tug gently and out. Tug and out, tug and out. And there we have it. So you could go back in and in not seeing these lines, you can kind of pull your bits and pieces towards center and overlap them. And there I did. I just tore one because I pulled it too hard. But you just go along like that and you can fluff it up, tighten it up a little bit. Rattle, 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 shape, shape, shape. And you have part of y'all's bouquet for your show. Have a great one.